All right, what I got today is the Jim Lee DC Legends Artifact Edition. I've been on the hunt for this for a long time. There was a point where a local shop here he had a few of them, and I just kept putting it off, and unfortunately missed out. They sold. I think word got out how cool it was, and they sold out. So, anyways, yeah, let's take a peek at this. I'm going to be unwrapping this right now, so you guys get to see all that. Sorry for the shaky cam. This thing's so big, all my webcam stuff had to come up onto my desk. All right, so sorry about that. All right, so you get to see me unwrap this. Usually I thumb through it so I have an idea, but I actually have no idea. I've seen a review video of this once, long time ago when it was new. So gotta make sure to throw this away. So yeah, pretty cool back cover here. I don't know how many editions actually existed of this. I do like this cover. I'm okay with it. But yeah, so fresh cracking sound of a brand new book. Yeah, I'm just going to kind of thumb through this and then also very carefully. Last thing I need is some loose pages. Yes, this is one of my favorite illustrations. The art of homage. This Gen 13 pinup that Jim did back in the day. Love this piece. Yeah, for dinosaur artwork, I think I'll say three tops. My favorite dinosaur illustrator for comic books would be Art Adams, #1, hands down. Jim Lee, even though very small amount of examples, I guess, available for Jim, I would say Jim's my #2, and then Brett Booth would be #3. And I know Brett spends a lot of time, used to, mid-2000s, I would see a lot of his illustrations popping up on some forums here and there. So, yeah, man, this is just cool. This is all just memory lane stuff, old Wildcat stuff. I probably own everything in this book in the standard printed form. So, yeah, this was the wraparound cover for the Absolute Wildcats. The Absolute Wildcats hardcover with the slipcase. Good collection of books. Nice. Deathblow. I did a Ragetality homage of this piece here. This is cool to see here too. I think that they knocked all this line art out and they did something different over here with the spray paint, if I remember right. Yeah, Jim Lee swiping Frank Miller. Awesome. Yeah, this stuff here was kind of a weird transition. I mean, it's still Jim. You still get a lot of the cool design aspects, a lot of cool underdrawing, structure stuff, but the faces here, I think he was trying to compete a little bit in house with Campbell. This was Campbell. This was peak Campbell era right here, when everyone was buying J. Scott. It's a pretty cool piece. What is this for? I actually don't have this, but whatever this was used for, I don't have it. Underperforming Divine Right. I still enjoy it just for what it was. I know a lot of people dislike this run of books, but like I tell them, I'm like, would you rather have Divine Right or no Jim Lee during that time period? I'd rather have a little bit of Jim in my life, just a little bit. I don't recall what else was coming out at that time. Maybe, maybe Brian Hitch on Ultimates or whatnot. All the years, I think anything from like 2000 to like 2015, it all blends to me. It all blends. Had crazy life situation stuff going on for me, and then also just comics were just all over the place. Yeah, I think this was I don't remember this being a cover. This might have been like an exclusive, like overseas. They were doing a lot of stuff over in Europe. When I say they, I mean three or four of the Wildstorm guys. This is cool to see. in black and white. I remember this piece being used a few times. And the nice thing too is like also this era here, this era of 2000s, late 90s, 98, 99, um, computer colorists were taking a level up as far as like rendering this, that, and the other. But my complaint is that um, a lot of the colors were dark and muddied, and you couple that with a lot of gradient line art, a lot of hatching and stuff. It can hide a lot of the cool little nuances that are going on in these pieces. So it is nice to see this. Yeah, colorists were kind of making the transition from just being a separator to an artist, and then a lot of them also not having full understanding of what's going to happen in CMYK and a lot of the tricks that are very easy to perform today with today's programs. I think this is a cover to another artifact that Shop had. I'm pretty sure this was a cover on a variant he had for like $50 more or something like that. I mean, I could care less. I actually prefer. I'll take this over this any day. This looks like a commission. Not an X-Men page. I'm assuming that this was. I'm assuming this was on a Marvel piece of paper, repurposed. It makes me wonder what was this like. What like maybe he sketched out a Wolvie or something. Who knows? It was pretty cool. Also, this is fantastic for anyone who appreciates Scott Williams. Jim's the macaroni, but Scott Williams is the cheese. And without the cheese, macaroni is kind of boring, right? Yeah, these are great. I was buying all these when they were coming out. I had equal excitement for what Loeb was doing with the book as well as Jim, because I had lost interest for probably a decade. I mean, with Batman in general, for comic books and stuff. So this was cool to see. Uh, that book he did with Frank Miller that they never finished, All Star, underwhelming, underperforming. It was like it's kind of cool that we have some of it, I guess, but I would have liked to have seen the entire thing wrapped up just because. Yeah, Jim's Joker. This is kind of what I model the way that I draw Joker is kind of this right here. Before Jim was drawing Joker, I really didn't have I didn't have I didn't have a solid idea of what I wanted my version of Joker to look like. So anytime I do Joker commissions, it always looked like a Jim Lee Joker, anatomically, not really detail. I have a little bit different approach with my lines. Um, yeah, this piece has been repurposed for so many things. All right, so I'll just keep skipping through here. I might skip a few pages. Here's that cover right here. I feel something large going on back here. What's going on here? Okay, this is an homage to a. Oh, geez. Carmen Infantino. Yeah, right there. I think this was a magazine, though. I don't remember this being a comic. I think it was a magazine cover. There's that trifold piece for that one cover. I know there was a villains cover too. I ended up grabbing the villains. I don't own the print copy of this. I got the villains one. I just thought it looked cooler. These look like commissions. Maybe. I don't know. This is a bookend in Hush. Yeah. Yeah, this is a bookend. And this one too. This is in one of the Hush collected editions that I got. I remember that. Yeah, these are all like the images you would shove to the edge and then have like descriptive text or whatnot. And same with this. It'd be shoved over and then credits, story Jeff Loeb, whatever. Kind of cool to see those. And Batman and Robin. I think these are from the All Star book. Yeah. Yeah. Cool shots. Man. Super thick. Super thick. Love it. Super thick. Love it. Super thick. Love it. Man, I think this is when William. This must have been Brush. I think Williams must have been jumping over to Brush inks more on this stuff. Um, I dig it. Yeah, these are all those pages when right before yeah, Green Lantern gets his ass kicked. Yeah, that was an interesting book. I know a lot of I got friends who love it, and I got friends that absolutely hated it. So I'm kind of in the middle as an art guy. I think it was not Frank's best written stuff, but the artwork was cool to look at. These are kind of newer. Yeah, 2018. I remember seeing this one being drawn online. This is kind of a cool. This is a cool pose right here. Some of the watercolor stuff. I like that Jim had never really dove into the watercolor works. I appreciate his line art a lot more, but it's cool to see. It's cool to see this, like some experimental stuff going on, um, in small doses. It's like red velvet cake. Like I don't want it every day, even though it's delicious. These are covers. Yeah, Man of Steel cover. Some of the Superman stuff. Again, Jim on Superman. That was the only way that Superman got my money in the 2000 in the beginning of the 2000s. I don't even remember what year. What, '05 maybe, '09. I don't know. But yeah, so that was the only way that DC was getting my money on Supes was because Jim was on it. I think the only Superman books I had purchased as a kid were the Man of Steel miniseries by John Byrne because I thought it looked kind of cool. Um, but yeah, I didn't even. I think Death of Superman was right before I was hired in at Image, um, and I did not buy the hype. I already knew, uh, flagship character, big death. I was like, it's comics, man. Nobody stays dead in comics. The only dead character in comics I think is Uncle Ben, right? Yeah, these are interesting. Again, it's for me. This is just eye candy for what Scott Williams brought to the page. So it's cool to see the stuff in scale, though. Minus the colors and minus the reduction. Yeah, this is such a cool effect, man. I know it's almost like a dry brush. It looks almost like dry brush right here. Again, a lot of this stuff, I'm gonna like a lot of this stuff is stuff I when I see it, I'm like, okay, that's going in my back pocket. You're gonna see that on a book. Different approaches, like this is madness. Like this hatching here, so awesome. It's a pretty cool shot too. Yeah, and of course, it's really Jim's strength. I mean, all this stuff here, it's like okay, everything looks awesome. Thank you, Scott, but it always comes back to the underdrawing, right? Like Jim's underdrawing is so. It's not even that it's correct or tight. It's that it's so consistent. Like he's probably drawn this fist a trillion times, in this exact angle with this exact forearm, but he's mastered it, right? Like he's got that in his arsenal. So, um, when you get to that level where you just already know the exact approach, to do things like that. Again, it becomes a strength, instead of a crutch. A crutch would be something that hides a thing. I feel like a crutch would be smoke at the knees, cutting the feet off of the panel, things like that. But your ability to draw everything and it all looks super cool within the panel, even if you do have some things being hidden here and there, uh, he's not using uh, elements of detail or elements of shadows to hide important details. That's an indestructible artist right there. That's someone who, they have crazy understanding of everything that they're putting on paper. I think that's what a lot of artists, I think that's what most of us are striving for too, is like having the consistency, and what that does is that builds your confidence as an artist, and then you don't feel so bad. Usually when you're doing the things that are like the things as a crutch, which would be, like I said, the smoke, anything that covers the areas that you're not confident about illustrating. Um, it's more so for time versus the inability to do it. This page looks weird. I don't know that. Yeah, I guess it's Scott. I'm looking at these fades right here. This looks like Scott. Something about the way this is drawn, though, it almost look like I've seen a few pages inked by of Jim's inked by like Sandra Hope, or hell, even Sal Regler, or Joe Weems, I think. And they have a weird look to the face, and I think it's because Williams has a very specific set of lines that he uses. Yeah, man, this is just fun. Yeah, if you can find this for cover, I guarantee, I would recommend picking it up. Look at the price in the second here. I'm not sure what the pricing on this was. Most of these, though, when you find them online, they're about $250 for this, because this it's out of print. I know the shop had told me that they don't have a reorder for it, so um, you know, Mercari, eBay, wherever you can find it. If you can find it and you're interested in this DC specific era of Jim's work, I know that one came out, the artist edition that has the Marvel. I guess it'd be mostly Marvel stuff, the X-Men #1 and its completion and all that. I don't have that, and the reason I passed on that is I already own 3 different editions of that specific run of books, and I just feel like there's not much. When I buy this stuff, this is stuff for me to study. Like, it's things for me to learn from, and I feel like if there's nothing for me to learn from it, um, then why invest in it? That's kind of how I'm looking at anything that I purchase anymore these days. So I really, so out of this entire piece, I'm really attracted to this illustration right here. Yeah, these are cool. Super consistent era for Jim. Um, yeah, this is a super cool piece. I'm so glad that he had Scott ink this piece right here too. I've seen a few that Jim's inked of Batman Who Laughs, and they've been kind of messy. Yeah, this was a cool piece too. Yeah, they had a blank sketch cover. So I would have actually passed on this book right here, except they had a blank sketch cover, and so I grabbed a ton of them naturally just to flip, and it's a pretty cool little Super Sons. Yeah, yeah, he does. You know what? It's passable. It's Jim. Passable. All right. So blah blah blah. I don't care. I Man, I really hope that I know Mark Silvestri's been working for like 15 years or 11 years at this point. I guess 11 years. I have to think. He was only 7 or 8 pages deep, I think, in that Batman book he's been working on. The last time he came to Arizona, so that was the Amazing Arizona Con the last year. So I'm thinking 2013 maybe. Yeah, maybe 9 years. Anyways, man, if they could get a Silvestri edition like this, it's like, take my money. But anyways, yeah, they have no pricing on this. It's gonna be over $100, guys. Let's run more than 100. Sorry for shaky cam. I gotta use my desk for all this. So